Imagine you always keep worrying about your girlfriend trying to do all the things she loves the most, but in the end, she killed you. Watch the chilling reactions of girls convicted of murdering their boyfriends as they receive their life sentences, forever altering their lives around them. Number 1. Shayna Huber. Shayna was arrested on suspicion of killing her boyfriend, Ryan Poston. Huber shot Poston 6 times, but she continually maintained that the killing was in self-defense. That night, during her interrogation, she alleged that her relationship with Poston had been abusive. As the judge handed down her life sentence, a range of emotions likely washed over Shayna, and it was difficult to fully comprehend the thoughts and feelings she experienced at that moment. Shayna's heart pounded in her chest, and her breathing became shallow. She had spent years preparing herself for this moment, but the reality of a life behind bars was unimaginable. The magnitude of her actions and their consequences crashed down upon her like a tidal wave, in a mix of regret, sorrow, and disbelief. Shayna's mind raced through a barrage of memories. She couldn't help but recall the happy times shared with Ryan, the love they once had, and the dreams they once nurtured. She now faced a future of freedom and the opportunity for redemption. The weight of her irreversible mistake became unbearable, and tears welled up in her eyes as she grappled with the gravity of her situation. At the same time, there was an undercurrent of anger simmering beneath the surface. The weight of her irreversible mistake became unbearable, and tears welled up in her eyes as she grappled with the gravity of her situation. Later on, therapeutic interventions, counseling, and educational programs might have offered her an opportunity for self-improvement. Number 2. Michele Carter. This case is very shocking. You all will be shocked to know that. Michele Carter has been encouraged by her boyfriend Cornod Roy to attempt suicide. Through her text, it was shown. This is the main proof for arresting Michele Carter. The case had gripped the nation, raising questions about the limits of responsibility in the digital age and the power of words. Moreover, when the judge declared the life sentence, a mix of disbelief and anguish flickered across Michele Carter's face. She had maintained her innocence throughout the trial, claiming that her messages were simply empty words, meant to seek attention and appease Roy's desires. But the court had seen through her defense, recognizing the weight of her influence over Roy's state of mind. Michele Carter's family sat in the gallery, visibly devastated by the outcome. They had stood by her side throughout the legal proceedings, defending her character and claiming she was a compassionate and caring person. Now, faced with a lifetime behind bars, their hopes for her future were shattered. Number 3. Jodi Arias. In 2008, Arias was accused of brutally killing her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, in his Arizona home. You all will be shocked to know that his body was found days later with 27 stab wounds and a gunshot to the head. Throughout the trial, she maintained her innocence, claiming that she acted in self-defense. However, the judges argued that her actions were fueled by jealousy and rage. Furthermore, as the judge handed down the sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of discharge, Arias seemed to grasp the gravity of the moment. Her expression turned from shock to resignation as she realized that her fate was sealed. The weight of her actions and the consequences she would face for the rest of her life became clear. In the aftermath of the trial, the Jodi Arias case continued to capture public interest and spark discussions about domestic violence, mental health, and the criminal justice system. Number 4. Ezra Cummings. This is the most shocking case you will ever get to know. While narrating, I am having goosebumps. Ezra Cummings, a name that has gripped the nation for months, received a life sentence for the brutal murder of their boyfriend. The initial investigation suggested a violent struggle had taken place, and suspicion soon fell on Ezra. As details of the case emerged, it became clear that their relationship had been into volatile arguments. The results brought in mental health experts who testified to Ezra's history of mental illness and episodes of intense emotional instability. Furthermore, in the face of the life sentence, the courtroom witnessed an outpouring of emotion from them. The raw anguish on their face revealed a mixture of grief, regret, and a deep-seated realization of the irreversible consequences of their actions. Ezra's family, seated behind them, were equally devastated, their sobs echoing throughout the courtroom. An ocean of regret was drowning Ezra. Number 5. Sierra Park. The courtroom was tense as Sierra Harp awaited her sentencing for the tragic incident that claimed the life of her boyfriend. The proceedings had been closely followed by the media and the public. As the judge pronounced a life sentence, the room erupted in emotion, capturing a range of reactions from Sierra. Furthermore, in her mid-20s, stood motionless as the judge declared her fate. The weight of the sentence seemed to press heavily upon her as her eyes widened in shock. The realization that she would spend the rest of her life behind bars for taking the life of someone she loved struck her like a sledgehammer. Overwhelmed by a mix of emotions, Sierra's face contorted in anguish, tears streaming down her cheeks. Gradually, as the shock subsided, Sierra's expression transitioned from anguish to a solemn acceptance of her fate. Though her voice was silenced, her eyes revealed a flicker of determination. At that moment, she seemed to resolve to use her time behind bars for self-reflection and personal growth, to grapple with the consequences of her actions, and seek permission, not having life sentences. Thank you for watching till the end. Have you got intrigued enough? If so, let us know in the comment section and be a subscriber.